everybody should have those as well. And then we'll get the next batch of merch up on the site too. I did want to address one thing that I had seen in chat the other day of, just somebody talking about roadmap stuff and like where our attention and stuff is. And I didn't respond in chat, but I just figured I could address it here today of like, somebody made a comment of our focus is on merch and all these things. And it's like, we spent like 4 days building out the whole merch for, the next like 4 months of stuff. It was not a lot of time to do. Again, that's something that we just really put out for the community. It makes a couple of bucks, but it's not anything that's like our focus or whatnot. But, just kind of realign expectations and make sure, I think most people are aware of where we're really putting our time and attention and stuff like that. But yeah, merch is just a fun thing. It's by no means what our focus is. And we're focused on the other stuff, which hopefully some of today's announcements will get some folks excited about that. Another small update was I actually just met with our Webflow developer, Michael, on the new Dronie site. We've got a couple like changes and adjustments to it that we want to make. But he said it's probably going to be ready around Monday. I'm going to announce we'll probably have it launched by end of week next week, just so we've got a little extra time to, make some copy edits and stuff like that. But it's looking really, really cool. He knocked it out of the park with the animations. Great information on the site. We're, really focusing on getting people into the collection, into the Discord, having, we were talking about like there's a community newsletter section as well and blog, and like we'll be posting the town hall updates in there as well. So, a lot of resources for people to go get familiar with the project and give us a bit of a facelift on that side. We'll have all the updated roadmap stuff, etc. on there. So really looking forward to having that out. Also chatted with the Grimm's team this morning in regards to staking. I don't have a definitive timeline on it, but I think what they told me was about, I'm going to just double check my messages. Where is it? Come on. There it is. Let's see what he said. They're currently just cleaning up the repo, making sure there's no leftover credentials or anything for their own security stuff. Hoping to have that ready before the end of next week. And I responded with just saying, we're not here to pressure you guys or make anyone feel rushed. We just want to be able to communicate stuff. So I said, I'm going to guess we could roughly plan on 3 to 4 weeks being a safe timeline for getting staking going. And he said, I want to say that's safe, but things also come out of nowhere sometimes, which throw everything out the window. So just opening the umbrella there. He said, not sure that that's an expression. But anyways, I'm hoping that that's going to be here pretty quickly. I'm going to hope that 3 to 4 weeks is a cautious estimate here. Again, a little bit of this is out of our control until they, finalize some of the stuff, until we get access to that repo. So bear with us. Those timelines might not be accurate. I'm hoping it's in the next week or two, but it could be shortly after that. But it's happening. It's coming soon. We're really stoked on that. And we're going to just finalize how it works and whatnot. We're also adding in, and this will tie into the next announcement of, exactly what like the rankings and earn rewards and things like that will be with staking. If there's any multipliers based on like how many dronies you own or other collections and things like that, that's all being worked on and finalized too. So again, hopefully this is here really, really fast. I'm going to hope in the next 2 to 4 weeks. So that's the best estimate that I can give. Again, give us a little wiggle room and grace as some things are out of our control, but hopefully coming soon there. Minor kind of non-update. I just want to make sure I address it, but still waiting on the game company. We've been talking about like what the terms would be for the agreement as a whole, but I'm still waiting on getting their game designer to give us any updates on like what type of game they feel would be right and where we might want to go. So that's still an ongoing discussion. But the one that I hope is going to be a bit juicier in combination with staking for everybody is that we are making our play and entrance into the metaverse. So we have actually already built out the prototype. Think of a Portals Enviro kind of experience that we're adding our own unique twist on, and adding a lot of ability to integrate story and things like that into here as well. We're working out the final details on this. The plan is, and again, bear with me on the details, but it might be that if you own X amount of dronies, based on maybe a quantity or the rarity or whatnot, there's going to be different levels or sizes of them, of these spaces. And those will be airdropped to our holders as well as an additional public mint. So we wanted to add that utility and reward if you hold a dronie or dronies. So that's been really exciting. Again, we already have, it's mega alpha. We showed it to the mods last week and they were like, holy crap, this is alpha, not beta. But I already have demos of it. I've asked for the team to just make a little, like, the video demo that we have is just for like our own internal purposes. It's super rough and raw. But Dave is out right now through the end of this week. But when he gets back, I asked him to make a cleaner demo video. And so we'll put that out next week for everybody. So you guys can see, again, very alpha, very just beginning of the space. But we'll put that video out along with what our roadmap is for that. And our expectation, I need to confirm the timeline, but is that will be released in the next 4 to 6 months as that all gets completed. So that will allow Dronies holders to have access to this like bunker and space that you can put up your NFTs, you can decorate, you can house social events and things like that, and some more fun things that again we wanted to add in that we don't see other projects doing, that is going to be really unique and something that our community will have a lot of fun with, and then something that'll hopefully also be really interesting and add value to other communities as well, that they would want to have these spaces to integrate with their projects as well. So that's my juicy bit for today. And again, video of that and images and whatnot will start to get released next week. But we've been shaping the infrastructure of what that looks like. So that's all being built by one of our game devs. And then Sergey's been working on all the access and things like that. Another unique feature that I'll mention, because I'm in a juicy, leaky mode. That sounded really weird. Sorry. Is that one of the things I was talking with Sergey about this morning is something that we are looking into that we think would add additional value to those spaces is like a lot of other projects, and I'll use Portals as an example, and I say this, I'm not like crapping on them, they're awesome, is the Portals card is really just like an access token to get you a space. So when that is sold or transferred, everything that is in that space disappears. And so one of the things that we're looking at is the ability for that to stay and go with the sale, so that if you were to say build a really, really cool space, that could then add additional value to your NFT. It's not just how much is a tier 1 or tier 2 or tier 3 worth, but maybe what is included inside, what items have been decorated. You'll be able to access and purchase additional items within these spaces with your staked tokens. So that'll add additional value to the staking, and then additional value to the space that you are able to build and create. And then we think it would be really fun for that to be transferable. So that way, I'm making, like, I'm looking at I have a Master Chief helmet in my office. Like, not that we would necessarily put that in there, but like I could take that and that would go with the sale if that's something that I was able to curate with my staking rewards. And it'd be really cool to be able to like transfer that ownership and whatnot. So it would allow people to build these like awesome customized spaces, for those of us that maybe feel like less creative. I don't know how to decorate this space. Like you could literally have other people do it, and then transfer it and get access to all of those things. So yeah, really cool things that we're looking to build with that, and continue to add to the story and entertainment of things. And yeah, so hopefully that has everybody really excited. Again, that will be an airdrop for holders. We'll clarify later, like what the exact qualifications for it is. Is it a single dronie? Is it multiple dronies? What tiers get you? What, how many do you have to own, or what the ranking? We're working on the algorithm of that to determine how best to distribute that. But that'll be a really cool addition for everybody. So we're really excited about that. And I lost audio somehow. Hang on. Or Will, are you talking?
Yeah.
You hear me? All right. Yeah, I thought you were coming out of my laptop in the back of my behind my monitors, but no, I got you now. So yeah, that's what I got at the moment. Let me know if anybody's got questions on stuff, or if anyone else has anything else to add here.
Can we get an update on when the skateboards are going to be coming out?
Oh yeah. There's so many things going on at times, I forget. We've got the artwork for the one. I'm gonna message it right now with Vic and Will. I will get you an update on that. I'm gonna get a status update there right now.
I got to ask for that on behalf of the skateboarding community, for the skate parks. We out here, we're waiting for them decks.
Shout also for all the new updates, including the metaverse update that Peter just shared, will be on the new roadmap that we're working on. So we'll have a visual part of the roadmap, and then we'll also have an explanatory text-based either Gitbook, or we'll probably have it live on the new site. Deep dive explainer, kind of what high level, and then as we get more updates, we'll add onto it and make sure that if somebody's new to the project and they're obviously not in the town halls or reading updates, then they can get up to speed, and we'll put that into the commands that we added this week. Make it easy for new peeps. Cool. Hey, what's up, Matthew? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, how you doing today?
All good, man. Thanks. Congratulations on all the good news you guys got today. Might be all exciting. I just have two questions. I don't know whom to direct it towards, to you, Willie, or to Peter, but I'll just go ahead and ask. It's just by now I think everybody is in a agreement that we are in a long-term project. Yes. And you guys are releasing this new roadmap. That sounds pretty awesome as well. I just wrote down these questions yesterday, and I thought maybe I just wanted to bring it up today. My first one is, how, in what timeline are we expecting the completion of the roadmap? As in, it's just a curiosity of mine. Are we talking about 2 years? Are we talking about 1 year? Are we talking about more than that? And so we kind of, at least me, I know that, yeah, that's how long, how do you say, I am committed to any of my NFTs or something, so that I have clarity in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of a couple answers to that. One is, ideally, in a sense, we're looking to always continue to build new things. Out of the things that we're discussing right now, there's a lot of different stuff. I mean, we've got technically have 2 years of comics planned. We're currently building out the first year of issues, and again, I would hope to see the next issue in probably the next month and a half here as we're finishing up. Again, all the story stuff is has been outlined. The comic writer sent us the initial draft last week of just high level outlines of everything. I know there was either an update of that or more detail of it. I haven't read it yet. I saw it come in, I think, yesterday. So, those are going to continue to roll out. Things like staking, hopefully here again, just around the corner, and continue to add new things there with like questing and auctions and raffles and all that good stuff as well. Then, as I mentioned, our play here into the metaverse with the bunkers, we've got, hopefully that will release in 4 to 6 months. 6 months was the original plan, and then we've shortened that down. So I'm hoping it's closer to the 4-month mark. And that sounds very doable, but we'll see as we get a little bit further in there. And then again, we would hope to continue to expand and build on that, continue to improve, everything from graphics quality to add new items, et cetera, and make that, a continued project as well. One of the things that we've been looking at as well is building out different apps and utilities that, if you own crypto or NFTs would be really useful to you. It could be things like how to safely, swap or trade NFTs, how to manage and monitor your portfolio. A lot of different tools that we've actually already built out. We're just now looking into the development of those things. Sorry, my wife's bringing my kids down. I'm going to prep something on the TV for them. Those will probably roll out in increments of like 2 to 3 months, per, I'm going to say app that we add to that product, base that we're looking to build out. And then if we do end up moving forward on the video game route, that's probably going to be on the lowest end, a 12-month endeavor, but very likely, I'd say closer to the 18-month mark to have that go out. I got you, buddy. What's up?
Hey there.
Yeah. Oh, mom's getting rain at school. Yeah. He's going to join us today. He's going to co-host.
Yes.
And then the other thing was, with TV stuff, again, that's ongoing conversation that, we're trying to chat with studios. Right now we're focusing on the other things. But, if we return into making, like that spot demo, 1 to 3 minute video to get out there and pitch further, again, that's going to probably take 2-3 months to create that, and then additional time if it gets picked up to go out to something else. So I've never ventured into the TV realm myself before, so I don't know what that would look like and how quickly some of that might go to get a pilot out there. But we've got stuff rolling out between the next 2 weeks to the next 2 years. Not that you got to wait 2 years for all of it, but we want to continue to build and evolve, and we're looking to and hoping that as we continue to get more of these short-term wins and things that are going to create more excitement, more drive in price and volume, that that'll also allow us to not just support everything, but like continue to build, and especially on the product side, like add more apps and utilities and things like that will add value to the people, the project, and everything. So yeah, that's kind of the plan.
That sounds pretty nice, cool. So at least gives us like a round figure idea. I do have a follow-up questions on that, what we just all said. Are these all things being done simultaneously, or are we talking about like we are on one, aspect, and then we are going to finish up and then we move on? Or is it like at the same time, all Royal Rumble going on?
Can you say that again?
So my question is like all these things with the comics and with the TV show and with the apps and with the metaverse, what all we spoke about, this all things. Are we talking about that these are happening all at the same time, simultaneously, or is it like we finish one thing first and then we move on to the second? And
oh yeah, these are all being worked on at the same time. I mean, that's part of the advantage of, we're a team, we're a company. Like, and I know this isn't the case for every project, but I feel like a lot, folks have their day job and then they're kind of working on these things on the side, or even if it's just managing the build of it, it's kind of after hours or whatnot. Like, this is what we focus on day in and day out. So, we all kind of divide and conquer, and like high level, I'm a part of and I'm aware of everything that is happening. But when you have a team and you trust them, like we've got like 3 individuals on our team that are responsible and are spearheading and working with the comic team to get all that done. We've got several people on our product teams that are focusing on the building of these applications and whatnot, and then we're working with contracting in additional development help to assist with the build of that. We can work on the front end UI UX side and some of the front end architecture, but then we're bringing in extra expertise for some of the contract writing and stuff like that. And some of that is being done from within our own community, which someone is here and I owe you a message. I apologize. Yeah, so all of this is being moved on at the same time. Like the metaverse is its own separate team that is working on and building those things as well. So all of this is moving in tandem as we go. Just some of these things take a long time to build.
Awesome. So basically what we're saying is once you guys start rolling out this news, like for an example, for the first time expecting it to be staking, yes, and then we start like in every few months, are we talking about something to come out to keep the the hype train going, kind of, or we talking about is there going to be a little bigger pause in between again? That's another question.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be. I mean, we can't release something that's going to create that hype every single week. And even then, there's a balance sometimes of like folks will be like, oh, don't release this feature yet because we want to save it, launch it a week or 2 later, so there's another thing to talk about, even though it would be really valuable to just put right up at the front. But like again, we should have staking out in the next 2 to 4 weeks would be my hope. Then based on that timeline, I'd probably say 4 to 5 weeks after that, the first comic issue should come out. And then, we're going to have now continued updates. Like, again, there's nothing to gate here on the metaverse stuff. I literally just, the demo that we have is like stupid username logins and, funny things that are maybe funny internally and not funny externally. Like, I just want to clean that up, and then we'll start sharing what that looks like and the build of that. And that's something that I also expressed to the team. Like, I want that to be something that we leak something out about it, at least, once a week, maybe week and a half at the latest. There's no reason that we can't share that progress, show the development and evolution and progress of what's being done in that. So that's something that, again, like we said, you get the peek behind the curtain once this stuff is in motion. So I just want to clean it up a little bit, and then we'll share it out next week. All
right, cool, awesome. Just one last question before I give off the mic. Sorry, guys, keeping you holding. So one last, actually, I was talking to somebody, I'm not going to name them because, I don't know whether they want it to be. We were discussing about, are the characters going to be any way related, the NFTs going to be related to the characters from the TV show or the comics?
Say that one more time, I'm sorry.
So my question is, like, our NFTs, are they going to be any way related to the characters from the game or the TV show? Is it
I mean, possibly. Like, the thing is that, we're probably not going to have like all 10,000 Dronies in a video game or in the comic or whatnot. But that is something that we've been talking with the artists about, of like, stylistically, they're going to be different than how it looks on the NFT. But do we pull over, various NFTs and build them out using the same traits or whatnot? Or we've talked about in a game, while it might not launch initially with the generatives of the collection, at least in a 3D sense, a 2D sense is very easy to do. That would be something that we would add on if we find, hey, the game is successful, and that would be another highly desired ask. But the cost to do that, I mean, is certainly north of six figures. The first estimate I had gotten for building out the entire collection 3D models for a game was like $400,000. So, and granted, I haven't shopped around too much for further clarification on that, but it's expensive. And so that doesn't make sense to build right off the bat.
All right. Okay, cool. Just one more question follow up. Is how are we expecting then our like NFT values from Dronies if none of like the NFTs are in the comics or the TV shows? How are we going to relate it? Like, what is going to bring the value for those NFTs then?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple different realms. Something that we want to do, and again, not to say that the characters don't get translated into things, or the bird characters get translated in. We still have like Stuart and Canary and Melody and all them as part of the story and all the aspects. But there's also the aspect of we want Dronies to be something that people want to be a part of this community, the access to tools and products that we're putting out, that that'll gain them access to things like the comic books, to added benefits in a game. Like we've been talking with the game company of, okay, what can we add that does give an advantage, or is it and I'm making things up here, but like it could be a percent modifier on the rate at which you earn XP, or you get a boost, or you get these items, or you get more in-game currency recurring because you're a holder. Like there's things like that we want to ensure that anything that we do, like for example with the metaverse stuff, if you own a Dronie, there will be advantages to that. Like the two will play together, and you'll be rewarded on both fronts for holding that. So, we're trying to strategically build all these things as well, so that you want to be a part of these collections and a part of this community, and that would, in hopes theoretically add that monetary value that everybody wants in the floor price, to increase through all of these things as well.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so basically that's all my questions for today. Thanks for answering, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna hand over the mic to somebody else if they want to jump in. And
Hey Peter, I
pretty
actually
cool.
have a question for you about like building and like another product. I know I messaged you about it. Did you ever give any thought into like possibly looking into like trading cards?
Yeah, I saw your message on this the other night. I know we've looked at it. I don't know how in depth we looked at it. I think partially because one of the early ideas was making a card game, whether that was physical or it was going to be digital. And I think Will and I were just talking about that again the other day, because that was one idea that we've brought up with every game company that we've talked to, of like, hey, would this be something like a Hearthstone or a Gwent, and we can battle these cards, and that's actually one of the things that like brought us into one of our early ideas of how we wanted to do questing, and the ability to like send your Dronies out on quests and like level them up, kind of like some of the older like online text-based RPGs that you might think of, but then kind of connecting the card to it. So there's definitely future possibility of some of that. I think at the moment we're trying to keep, even though we are doing a lot of different things at once and division of teams and all that stuff, I'd say that's probably one of those that I want to get through a little bit more of some of these other things and get them executed and out before probably adding more items on there. But definitely something to see if there'd be interest. But I think that's one of those, if it's purely like a physical collector's card type item, I also don't want to be naive, and I'm going to say like, we need to build the community back up. We need to get some of these shorter term things out and get that hype and excitement up, and have people like, we want to get north of the 10, like we got to break some floor price ceilings here, to where folks are going to be excited about that. And have people that are not just in the project, but outside the project, excited to pick up some of the stuff as well.
Absolutely. I just think that would be so cool, and I feel like I don't know of any other NFT that's offering something like that. I mean, maybe there's one out there, but I just feel like if we could be the first to come out with something like sick, but hey, down the road, I totally get that, and like not wanting to add too much more to it already full plate. But I'm excited to see like a lot of the stuff start to come to life and to hear all the news. So this is awesome, man. I'm super hype.
I'm glad. Like I said, I know this week we've got a little bit more news than we have in past weeks. So I'm excited about that. We're super pumped on this stuff. You know, again, I don't want to oversell what we have in the metaverse right now, but like it's super alpha and it's really cool. It's just cool to see the foundation get laid for that. And I think when we pair it out as well with, you know, I'll make a video with Dave as I say this, where we'll not just show what it is, but then I want to talk through it a little bit more of kind of like where it's going and where our inspiration pieces are coming from and art styles and things like that. And that way people can hopefully see like the end goal vision of it too. But yeah, we're super pumped on all the things that are happening. And again, hopefully more short-term stuff that folks are getting to get excited about and you know, regain some confidence and excitement about everything.
Show for show. Also, if anybody has questions about stuff or wants to give suggestions, raise your hand.
I'm
Oh yeah,
gonna say,
that
you
was a
know,
lot.
I'm
Like
still
say.
hyped because I just got my my first Dronie from the first 100 of the collection last week. I was so hyped about that.
I know it was awesome. There's a lot of people last week picking up customs. It was really, really cool to see.
Dude,
Yeah, and I will say, I mean, there's going to be big advantages for like top 100, top 250, 500 rarity rankings, you know, when we get into staking and stuff like that too. So if you have those, I would certainly hold on to them.
Let's go. Pick them up. Community sweep. Let's sweep them floors. Let's go.
For sure. Got Mr. Eagle. Let me add him real quick. And E Holly.
Hey, I got something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's up with the 500 dronies that got minted after for like the team members and everything? They're not verified anymore.
We just talked to Magic Eden this morning, and they were supposed to update that. Let me check if something went wrong.
I was about to say, I haven't checked today. I just noticed it yesterday whenever I was...
Yeah,
Okay.
So before it used to say 9.5 supply, it now says 10. So yeah, we realized that when because that's the pool where we like pull for marketing and giveaways and stuff like that. And folks that were getting those giveaways, it almost looked like you got like a fake because it wasn't showing up as part of the tool on Magic Eden. It should show up on most of the other marketplaces that have it updated. And I know we have put in requests with like how rare is and stuff before. Let me double check if while we're here, if that is updated. Otherwise, I got to ping them again. That's updated as well, so that should show up there too.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I had a question. So, when you talked about different levels of rarity and I guess how that comes into play into staking, are you guys going to be using the like how rare is rarity, whether it's their regular one or the statistical rarity, or are you guys going to do similar to Grim Syndicate where you kind of have your own, you've come up with your own kind of plan based off of kind of what's going on in the community where, you know, maybe color traits like gold, even though it's not in a rare chart, but gold, you know, gold dronies might have a higher value in staking or something like that. Is that going to be spelled out a little bit more clarity, or is there anything you can share on that in the moment?
Yeah, so I believe at the moment the plan is going to be to utilize how rare is. That's the most common across all projects and whatnot. I want to double check before again, this will all be documented of whether it's going to be default rarity, statistical rarity, etc. I know I was just reading something that like some project was petitioning Magic Eden to change like the ranking method, because they go off of, I think it's statistical, but the Magic Eden shows a different one, and so it was causing confusion and whatnot. So we want to make that simple. We had talked about, and I think our latest iteration was to keep it simple and just have it around rankings, just because otherwise it gets really complex if you were to say, if you own, and I'm just pulling up Magic Eden and what I see at the floor here, like a pink Dronie versus a black or a silver or a purple or red, it gets really confusing because now each time you have to go, stop, look at a visual graphic table that we have and like confirm what that is. And maybe you have a red one and that's a lower, daily earn rate, but yet your ranking is really low. Like that doesn't feel right. And so we wanted to make it really easy to where you could just go to the marketplace and buy it and know that you're in whatever category of daily earn, versus having to go and be like, well, I have a rocket launcher on my back and that earns this versus a bow and arrow earns this and a katana earns this. Like that's just, it's too much work. And I know, and this is one where like I'd love feedback from the community that both do and don't have some of these things, but we've also talked about, do we want to reward some of the community groups or like, sub DAOs of the project that are super active, that are doing things to promote the project, to create a great experience for the Dronies community. And a great example of that would be like Gold Gang. Would Gold Gang, kind of regardless of where they might fall in terms of the rarity, would they have a boost or fall into one of the lower categories? And when I say that, if I pull up, let me just do the rarity table here real quick. Color, gold. Hi, buddy. You've got golds from as low as rank 284 to as high as 993. So, I mean, granted, they're always going to be in the top 10%, but would we want to, and I'm talking like a minor difference. Oftentimes these like groups, because they do tend to be based around those that already have pretty rare traits. But they might already fall into that category of daily earn, or that level. But maybe if you're like 933, which is the highest one, maybe it earns the same amount that like the top 500 are earning. If you're a part of Gold Gang, or if you're a part of Alien DAO or Plague Doctors or whatever the different categories may be. And that's something that we talked about. I think the mods all got together the other day, and I know they expressed some concerns of like that might, well, it does create benefit to those groups, and that might help those groups and maybe even the project as a whole, if that might create any like resentments around other people and whatnot. So we want to be careful with that too, but we'd love your feedback on what you guys think that is, if groups that are, again, super active and taking a more prominent presence and boost to the community and project should have any potential slight reward, or if we keep it just statistical and it's really easy to follow.
Cool. I think that answered my questions.
Well, anybody else got anything?
Hey, what's going on today, guys?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey.
Not too much, not too much. Hey, just wanted to touch on a couple things here. Obviously, I, as well as a lot of us, woke up this morning to a pretty big sweep that occurred. How can we capitalize and keep the momentum on, some of these things that happen, randomly? I know we have some planned out marketing and social media stuff, but when, something like this happens that really drives the community forward, and, you can already tell the vibe in Discord today is a lot, more outgoing and positive than, maybe a couple days before. How can we capitalize that from a marketing and standpoint?
Already on it, writing posts.
Very good.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, no, writing posts about it, up like press release update. I think a lot of people will be excited to also see it in the visual form and like the new roadmap. That's getting done sooner rather than later now because some of the illustrators' work got pushed off to be a little bit later in terms of like the other things they're doing for Unfold. So really, really cool. And yeah, just being able to put it out and explain like some of the bigger updates that we had, especially like the metaverse and the staking updates, and just getting people, we don't want to put any false hope and put exact dates on things, but make sure people know that what we're doing, what we're building, and why it's really cool and important.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
and I think I mean like Will, we can definitely, if we haven't already, put out some posts about the sweep and like, hey, check this out, this is happening, or we'll game plan some of that and get that out pretty quick here. It'll be fun to share that alongside some of the stuff that we announced today. But then yeah, I think another. I'm gonna see. Can I share my screen in these town halls? We might have to like change a setting or something.
No, you can't.
No.
Not that I know of, at least. I think it's
But
separately.
but those are things like we could just hop in one of the rooms or something one week, and we can still do this thing, and then again, we can walk you guys through. I want to send out videos of the metaverse project and updates and stuff, but like let's go in and I'll log in and we'll move around and show you guys different things and keep you more up to date on that stuff. So again, you will see. I know we've been saying it. Like once some of this stuff hits a point, we can share and showcase all of it. And so, really excited to do that. We'll probably share out the website here to the community probably early next week, and just we'd love for you guys to take a look at it, help us QA it, make sure nothing, try to break it. That's the thing, and we'll clean that stuff up. And then, like I said, that should hopefully launch mid to end of week next week. But it looks dope. It's really, really cool, and I think just better information for folks to get to the project. We've got a section on there too to highlight like really big events and outreach stuff. So like our tweets from Shaq will be up there, maybe stuff about like big floor sweeps or call outs, etc. That stuff will go up there as well. So lots of fun ways to integrate that stuff. I know Moss and Willie have been chatting about more not just more social engagement, but like what type of posts to be putting out, being attentive when we have events like this with like a floor sweep and stuff like that to go make mention of it and talk about it, and spread the word as some of the stuff is happening. So yeah.
Very good. And then I got one more thing. This one's for Willie. Earlier this week you hopped on that Savannah Twitter space, integration and partnership call. I didn't get to hear all of it. I had to pop in and out due to work. How do you think everything went with that, Willie? And what's the effect that it'll have on us as Dronies holders?
Yeah, I thought it went really well. I wanted to speak a little bit more in it, but there wasn't really questions directed towards us. It's more just like, hey, these are the projects getting added. I think the biggest value add to like holders and the project itself is not necessarily being a partner of Savannah, but being able to see or connect with the other communities that are in there. And like they're saying, they're doing those the addition of like the big island spaces within their game for some of the bigger projects like Salon Monkey Business and some of the big. I'm not sure which other ones are specifically getting islands, but I know that's like the big one. But also like giving visibility in there and having that connection from one point to connect with all these other projects. Really cool, and we can do events with them. I plan on doing giveaways within their game with them, so we can swap eggs and dronies, and give those out, and then also see if we can coordinate bigger events within their game with some of the other projects that get a lot more visibility or maybe a lot more hype currently. And so when we start rolling out these roadmap items, then we can get spaces with them. We can market all of our new products and items with them. It'll be really, really exciting, and I think it's a really good step in the right direction in terms of getting our names in the other people's mouths and people chatting about us.
Yeah. Also, I got a thunderstorm rolling in, so if I drop at some point, I lost power.
Appreciate the time, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. anybody else has questions, feel free to ask.
Yeah. Asher's ready to answer all your questions.
Exactly. He has the alpha we need.
Kid's so funny. He just groans all the time.
Besides any updates, one quick thing that I want to bounce off everybody, and we've talked about it before, is one, whitelist giveaways and how we do those. Because I know a lot of people, we can give away spots every single day to projects, but the thing is, they're not going to be great spots all the time. I say a lot of the volume of like requests we get for projects coming out they're cool projects, but they're not going to be like some crazy, huge flip that maybe a lot of people are looking for. So if people want to go into either suggestions or alpha and just tag me and let me know if you want more spots or more curated spots. I know it's something we talked about before, but it's something I always like go back and forth on. I kind of want to just make like a definitive decision there and just start doing it. Especially since a lot of projects do first come first serve raffles. There'll be like a mix of both, and then for some like the bigger spots that we're looking to get, like the Great Goats is one that I've been in contact with, and then also the Bubble Goose Ballers, trying to get them to respond to DMs. But I've talked to some of the people who are really active in the Catalina Wheels community. It'd be cool to get some spots over there as well. So those will of course also be given away. So we'll have a mix between decent spots and also just spots that we get offered. I just want to get people's general suggestion or idea on the volume of how many spots we give away.
I have a question, Willie, if you get a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, so obviously I hopped on because I just got off work, but I know that I brought the Great Goats up and the Wobble Bug, and I noticed you mentioned that you actually got in touch with the Great Goats guy or Wobbles yet? Have they actually responded?
He said, "Hey, let me look at this. Get right back to you." So,
I mean, hey, it's something, right?
yeah, it's better than nothing. That's a lot of. I mean, a lot of these bigger projects, it's really hard for them to keep up with all the spots or requests that they get. But just being persistent, especially with Great Goats, they don't really have a set date when they're going to mint, I believe. So
Yeah. Well, and one thing for all the town hall people that are listening, just so you guys know, all the mods every week that we get together, we're working on real good, big quality projects to get everybody to be a part of, to find the next cool thing for everybody to be a part of. So I can vouch for that. Obviously, when Willie's talking about it, saying, "Hey, we're looking for real quality stuff," hence why there may not be stuff coming out very often or so often, is because we want to make sure that the stuff is the best things we believe is good for the community. Things that we would put money into ourselves. So, but yeah, cool. That's good news. You got word back.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of back and forth, and it's also a little bit of like I'll talk to like a mod, and then they'll be like, "Okay, go talk to this person," and I'll talk to this person. They're like, "Okay, I'll get back to you," and then they get back to me, and they're like, "Okay, actually, you need to talk to this person." And it's kind of annoying, but it just kind of is what it is. Especially for the bigger hype projects. But I think a mix of both is maybe the way to go. Maybe just more spots, and it's you don't have to mint if you get a spot is the biggest thing. It's just nice to have a spot, I suppose. So, so yeah.
And Peter, something for you. Oz and a couple other guys suckered me to re-download Warzone, so I will officially be back Friday.
Let's go!
Freaking Warzone. I know it's. I didn't want to do it, but Oz guilt tripped me into it.
Dude, I think it's always funny because Oz will hop off. If we haven't already gotten a win with Oz, Snake and I always pull a dub every week. That it just winds up at us afterwards. So we'll keep it going.
So yeah, I'll be on Fridays to spend time with the Dronies guys again. I've been busy, but I'll be back around. So
it's always good times, and I mean we got to find some other games too to play that we can get some more folks in and just mix it up too.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna get back to driving so I don't get in an accident. I'll talk to you guys soon.
How's it going, brother?
Stay safe, man. For sure. If anybody has any more questions, probably wrap up with one or two more. If nobody does, then we'll wrap up. We've been going for almost an hour. I am going to do some posts about the things we talked about today, get some announcements out about the staking and bunker stuff that we talked about. Also, we got trivia night tonight, so that'll be fun. I know people have been talking about EU time, so I got to talk with or not necessarily EU times, but just, times that are more accessible for people who are across the globe for activities and such. So we're going to try to create at least a format or a schedule to also get other people involved who are not in the US or awake at that time. And then we got some more spots for projects coming out today. And I think next week we're going to have, like I mentioned earlier, Twitter Space with some other projects. We'll try to get also more spaces going next week that aren't just on one day. So it'll be exciting. And we got Aaron who wants to ask a question. Well, what's up, man?
How's it going?
Good. How about you?
I'm well. I was just thinking now that we have everyone in town hall right now, we should just throw up a raid because we have a lot of people. Floor price is looking pretty nice today, and I do want that momentum to be going still. So if T-Lens can throw something down and we can all jump on it, that'd be great.
Let's get something about that big sweep. We can all raid that. I mean, I think that's really big for the day. Floor price has gone up. You know, we got some things that were talked about in the announcement today. Let's push some of that all together in one big package. Let everybody know what's going on.
Yeah, let's do it. Willie, why don't you and I let's craft a tweet here in a second, and then let's get that out. So if you're in here, be ready for a little raid.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.
You got, man.
Nope, and he's up. But yeah, I think overall good town hall for everybody. If anybody has questions or concerns, I will talk with T-Lens or Hoods if he recorded it about getting the recap out for everybody. If not, then I can do it myself. But yeah, good town hall. Me and Peter are gonna meet real quick, and then we can do raid and get all the updates out to everybody.
Yeah, let's get something out in like the next 5 minutes. That way we can grab on. So if you're here, just stay alert in the nest, and we'll put something out.
Sweet.
Sounds good.
All right, have a good one, everybody.
Boy.